Thank you so much for inviting us to be here today and to be part of such an inspiring initiative. I entitled my presentation, The Power of People, and I'm delighted to realize that I don't have to explain that to you. Just by the fact that you are all here today, you realize that this is how change starts, by coming together, by sharing ideas, inspiring one another, and collaborating. So you're already change makers. And this is something that for me throughout my life, starting a business, has been absolutely core. I've come to realize that it's all about people and that everybody has it within them, the power within them, to make the change that they want to see in the world. So I asked Ada yesterday, what was it that started all of this fantastic work? And she said, it was because we felt there had to be a better way. And this is constantly what I hear from people. When I meet fellow social entrepreneurs and I ask them, what was your motivation? It was because they felt that there was a problem and there had to be a better way. So I want to tell you about the problem that I saw. I was back at university in London about 5 years ago, and I love traveling. I love going all over the world and across my own country in the UK and discovering new places. But the thing that really frustrated me was that if I didn't have a local contact in that destination, it was really difficult to go local, to connect directly with local businesses, to spend my money locally, to engage with the local culture, and to be a responsible traveler. So I did a bit more research into this, and I realized that the problem was that the travel industry is made up of these enormous middlemen, and they're not based in the destination, they're based outside of that destination. And years ago, before the internet, those middlemen were important because they would find product at the destination level, so they would find tours and activities, great local hotels to stay in, those sorts of things, and they would package them up, and they would deliver them to incoming visitors in a trusted way. The great thing about the internet is that you don't need that anymore because we can all connect regardless of where we live, who we are, what language we speak. We don't have those barriers anymore. And so now there is this massive opportunity for people to book and buy direct, whether it's their food or it's their clothing, direct from the people who make it. But in travel, this isn't happening. There are still these massive middlemen. And in some parts of the world, they take 97% of tourism revenues. This is a massive problem because it goes to explain why some destinations that are totally reliant on tourism are still hugely impoverished, because only $3 in every 100 reach the destination. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. And so what I started to do was to build a global network of local people who felt the same way and who would be really happy to be contacted by visitors to help them to plan their trip, really simply. So they were trusted local experts offering their advice online. And this is what we started to do. We just started to connect travelers with like-minded locals to help them plan a really fantastic trip. And the whole aim was to cut out the middleman, to help visitors spend more time and money locally where it really matters. So what we launched just 6 weeks ago is our big vision for Tripbod.com. It's a bit like eBay for travel. Do you know eBay? Yeah, and you use eBay, so it's a marketplace. It's a peer-to-peer marketplace. It's where anybody can do business with each other. And this is the same as Tripbod.com. So anybody, anywhere, if they love where they live, they can become a Tripbod, and they can share their local knowledge with visitors and help them get off the beaten track. And I met a couple of wonderful young entrepreneurs just a couple of hours ago who are doing this right now in Hong Kong. And there are millions of us everywhere. And what we hope to do on Tripbod.com is bring us all together and show people that there's another way. There's a better way to travel. So this is an example of my shop on Tripbod.com. It's called Local London. And here's an example of one of the things that I offer to visitors in London. So the thing I love more than anything else is food, which is great being in Hong Kong because the food here is amazing. And one of our favorite things to do as Tripbods is take people to local markets, show them the seasonal food, buy some ingredients, and then go to our home and cook a traditional meal together. And for a visitor, that's a really wonderful way to get a real taste, both literally and metaphorically, of the culture and of the local place. And so this is what I do in London. And so as Tripbods, we offer two types of things. We offer trip planning, which is just an online connection with a visitor to help them plan their perfect trip. And we can also offer experiences. So these are things like offering to meet a visitor when they arrive, maybe go for a cup of tea and just talk to them about their plans for their week in town, give them some advice on places to visit if they love art or if they love sports or that sort of thing. So that's what we do as Tripbods, and it's all about collaborating. It's all about connecting with visitors and saying, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you love when you travel? Let me help you make a really meaningful connection with my destination, and all sorts of magical things happen from there. So what we are doing really is we're building a new generation of entrepreneurs, because anybody can join the website, can create their own shop, and they can share their passions with the world. And that's really what is so important. We're trying to give a voice back to the people at the grassroots who are doing these amazing things and want to tell more people about it and get them engaged. Our business model is a simple business model, but the great thing about it is it's very much win-win-win. So the Tripbod will say what they're willing to offer and what price they're willing to offer it at. There's a 15% commission that goes on top of that, so the Tripbod is always paid what they ask, and the commission on top goes to ensuring a sustainable business model. And the traveller then sees the listed price, and they get so much more value for their time and money because there are no middlemen commissions. And in this way, this is really, really important, because we are a social enterprise, but we are a profit-making, sustainable company. And if we want to compete with those middlemen, we have to be commercially sustainable. It's absolutely crucial. And so that's why we have developed this peer-to-peer marketplace model. And this is why we're going to be revolutionizing the travel industry and showing people that there really is a better way to do business. But it's not been easy. It's really been quite tough. I started developing this idea 5 years ago, and back then, there was nothing like this in travel. It was a totally new concept, a totally new market, which meant that there was a whole new challenge with how to communicate this to the world. So I wanted to share with you some of the lessons that I have learned. If you would like a copy of any of the slides, please just email me afterwards, and I can send them to you, which maybe saves writing notes. So just in terms of the key things that I've learned in how to start and build and maintain a business, for me, again, it's all about people. Team and co-founders have been really crucial to me. So I started out on my own. I tried to do everything myself, and that was a great learning experience. But the business really started to happen when I brought on board 2 co-founders who could do the things that were not my core skill set. And it's the same with collaborations. In the world of business now, it's all about collaborations with other organizations, with other individuals, with mentors, with everybody. Competition now, you know, there is competition. Of course, we compete with those big middlemen, but there are lots of people out there doing similar things to us, and we all work together towards a better future for tourism. And this is what I've learned, is that there are some amazing people out there, and you just have to find them and then find ways of working together. The great thing I think about being a young entrepreneur is that I think we're naturally resourceful and we're resilient. It is hard going out and trying to start a business around your passion and your vision. And sometimes it is the hardest thing that you will have to do. And when the chips are down and you're really struggling, sometimes it's just that core resourcefulness and that resilience and that ability to think outside of the box that will get you through. And you will always get through. And you will find ways of iterating. I think, as Stein was saying, you'll find ways of learning quickly and adapting quickly. And that's a real core element of being a young entrepreneur. And the great thing now with online businesses is there are so many free tools. We understand social media in a way that our parents and grandparents don't. And it's a great advantage to us as business people to use all the social networks as ways to communicate our message to like-minded people. There are thousands of free tools for running businesses. So, for example, my business is run completely using Skype. So we connect with every Tripbod in 80 countries all over the world through video Skype, and we do all of our communications that way. There are also grants available, which we have used, but mainly for us, it's about getting out there and meeting people, doing what you're doing today, which is great, coming and being a part of this and meeting like-minded people. And as a part of that, I noticed that there are some amazing networks here in Hong Kong for social entrepreneurs. This is just a small list of some of them and some of the kind of global networks as well that you can get involved with. They're all free to be part of. So in terms of Tripbod.com and having used all of these tools, I'm glad to say we've had some successes, but we've also had some not-so-successes. And I don't call them failures because I think if you learn from them, there's no such thing as failure. You just go to iterate your business model and to learn from those experiences. So on the successes side, we have built a global network of Tripbods in 80 countries. We have had traction in sales, so we've got loads of happy customers. We've got a respected brand, which I'm very, very proud of. And because of that brand, now some of the big industry leaders who are doing great things will work with us, even though we're relatively a tiny social enterprise. But I learned very quickly that I needed fellow team members around me, such as a technical co-founder, and it took me 3 years to find that right person, which was pretty tough. And I think I didn't focus enough initially on data. It's really important to monitor, if you run a website, what's happening in the data, learn from it, and change quickly and adapt to that change. But if you want to know the secret, Stein just said it, just start. That's the only thing that's holding you back. Just have a go, start as early as possible, because until you get out there, you have no idea what's possible. And that's really what I want to end on, because you really cannot fail. If you learn from your experiences, no matter how big the mistakes that you make, you will build value into yourself and ultimately into your success. I've learned that great people equal great business, and around you, you have 100 great people just in this room. Don't ever underestimate yourself, because in our education, we rarely actually get a chance to understand our full potential. I felt that through the whole of my education. I was a scientist. I had a planned legal career. I'd saved my whole student loan to go to law school, and it was on my final day of my final exam at university that I thought I'm going to spend this money instead on starting up a social enterprise. And it has been the biggest and most exciting adventure of my life, and I would never have believed what was possible had I not just had a go. And I think the main thing is just to be passionate about what you're doing. If you believe in your vision, you will infect others with that energy. And so I would just congratulate you for being here today, for being change makers, and to make the most of the opportunity, because you have everything that you need within yourself right now to change the world around you and make it a better place for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sally. Stay right there. I think we have time for 2 questions before we break for lunch.
Hey, my name's Shelly. I just want to start to say it's a really great idea. I believe that every traveler who go on their own wish that they have some kind of local guide, but you put it into reality. That's really great. So my question is, like, how do you do quality control? Like, because it's like a people business, like, it's really hard to control, like, the other end of. Yeah.
That's a fantastic question. And that was something that was really, really important to me when I first started out, was to become known for quality and for trust. And so initially, I developed a bespoke vetting system, like a verification system. So we would go through a 6-stage procedure with every Tripbod, and we developed a way to actually automate that. So we created an online system where Tripbods would have to submit references, they'd have to submit detail about their background employment, we would follow up on all those things, we would do a video Skype interview, and that was what gave us our initial core of Tripbods. The great thing now is that the network is growing too big for us to do that, which is good, because what it means is, firstly, Tripbods can start to review each other, which is really great, because people in a destination can invite other Tripbods to join the network, because what we find is the more Tripbods in a destination, the more successful that destination becomes on the website. So they can verify each other. And of course, customers provide that crucial feedback, and that's all about community feedback. But every single product that is listed on the site is approved. So we check it, because it's a very, very complex legal system that we run. It's all very seamless and easy from the outside, but it's taken us 5 years to develop a bespoke way to run this business and to have our full insurance cover. And so every product goes through an approval system as well. So we take that very seriously, and I think it's a great point. Thank you.
Okay, and we have one question over there.
Hello. I like traveling too, and I wonder what's the difference between your website and coach surfing, and what's there are many share the same ideas with that website and this
Absolutely.
one. And the second question is you mentioned you just mentioned Skype. You use this to
communicate?
Did you ever have you ever heard about the Tripbod?
I'm not sure I have, no.
Never mind.
But please tell me about it.
Okay.
That would be great, thank you.
Yeah.
And to answer the first part of the question about couch surfing,
Yes,
it's a very, very good point because there are lots of social networks out there. So what we wanted to do was to kind of go one step further and actually provide a service. So couch surfing is wonderful. I have so much respect for what those founders have done. They changed travel, they really did, because they made people realize that local communities are hospitable and warm and inviting, not scary and, you know, kind of non-inviting. So I think couch surfing was great for that. But couch surfing is for a relatively small subsection of the market. So there's a certain kind of person that's really happy to couch surf. But there are some people who don't feel confident about that, and also who want who require a service. They feel bad asking for somebody's time, and they want to say, if you will give me this service, I would really happily pay you, because as we were saying a minute ago, it assures that quality, and it says, I have a full and fair understanding with you that I am remunerating you for your time and helping me plan my trip and have a great experience. And there's a lot of goodwill that comes with that, of course, as well. But then for a lot of people, they feel very secure in the knowledge that I'm paying for a service, I know what I'm getting, it's very much quality assured, and the crucial element is the trust again. So all of the quality assurance takes place on the site, and we have full financial protection, insurance, all those sorts of elements. So I think couch surfing is fantastic, and we would never aim to replace couch surfing at all. But we do aim to provide a new way to offer visitors services, to support local entrepreneurs in shouting about what they're doing and generating more business, and also encouraging people to go deeper when they travel in a very trusted way.
Okay, thank you very much, Sally, for your time. You'll have more time for questioning later on, I'm sure.